Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz, he is now updating the public on enforcement efforts of this new watered-down ordinance. And I have to say, I'm kind of happy with their first effort. Seattle police officers went out to two areas in particular where there's a high volume of open-air drug use. Here's the chief.
Officers began to connect with many people openly using drugs in these two areas of 12th and Jackson and 3rd and Pike. And here's what our officers encountered. We made 25 contacts. 15 of those contacts were referred and connected with a caseworker today. 2 of those contacts declined services altogether. And 10 of those contacts had disqualifying reasons for not being referred. Some it's because due to violence, due to certain other conditions, or certain arrests that was made today as part of that.
Yeah, and what he detailed is that, okay, you had some officers go up to people using drugs, gave them a choice, like, hey, either you, well, it's not really a choice. They basically, the only thing they could do under the law, if the person wasn't a threat to other people, is say, hey, do you want treatment? And some of them said yes, and some of them said no. And then officers just had to move along. So in that sense, the ordinance isn't effective at all, because officers cannot simply arrest them for saying no to treatment, which I think is common sense. The ordinance should be that officers go out, hey, you're illegally using drugs, you're illegally possessing drugs, you have 2 choices, treatment or arrest. That should be what it is. That's common sense. Instead, they have no leverage against them unless that person is simultaneously posing a threat to other people. But here's the thing I didn't really think about in all of this that I actually think is a very good thing and is going to result in making the community more safe. So Chief Adrian Diaz talked about during the enforcement of this, there were individuals who were contacted and because of that contact were arrested for different things.
Officers booked 10 people into King County Jail for the following reasons. 2 people had new charges. 1 had possession with intent to deliver. 1 had possession with intent to deliver and was in possession of a stolen firearm. 1 had a fugitive warrant out of California. There were 7 felony warrants for a variety of reasons, including rape, assault, domestic violence, a DOC escape warrant, and 1 misdemeanor warrant for assault. What's important to highlight is that we might not have had come in contacted had we not had this drug usage ordinance in effect.
There it is. And there's the thing that I hadn't really contemplated when we were discussing this watered down version, which is at least it gives officers the ability to essentially contact someone for the simple act of using drugs in public. And through that contact, you heard about some of the people who officers had interactions with. A guy who's got a warrant out for rape, a DOC escape. And this doesn't surprise me. I mean, you know, there's a segment of the left and uber progressives and socialist Democrats who want to act like, oh, these are down on their luck people who simply got addicted to drugs. No, like sometimes these are really bad people. And that contact is an opportunity to see if they have a warrant, an opportunity to see if they're committing another crime that's putting the public in grave danger. So that's really important. And it's a really important point that Chief Diaz made is this ordinance, as watered down as it is, it's actually going to be useful in getting dangerous people off the streets. You might not be able to arrest them for the drug possession or the drug use, but you sure as heck can arrest them on that outstanding felony warrant. The other thing of note, Chief Diaz said that they, while officers were out doing this at 3 and Pine, 12 and Jackson, the community was freaking thrilled.
What was profound today was the community support our officers felt. People came up to the officers thanking them. We continue to ensure that we are going to be compassionate in our approach to getting people connected with services, while still making sure our city's streets are safe for all of our residents.
Yeah, and it's also going to make a difference when people start to realize that officers now have this authority and the mayor's behind it and the chief of police is are both behind it. And so you can, maybe it'll put them on edge and make them feel less comfortable in committing these overt criminal acts that absolutely erode the quality of Seattle and the quality of life. So it's not a perfect ordinance. It should have been done back in June. It should have been passed in its original form. Andrew Lewis. However, it's something, and it gives police officers a tool to be able to get dangerous people off the streets. So that's good.